as I was saying to you before, Val, I had stopped dreaming. I didn't have the dreams, and I didn't know what I was trying to understand, but I was still too clouded in my everyday things. And then I remember Kevin saying too, and the other one, that if you don't know how to, watch yourself go to sleep and watch yourself go off the edge and begin to watch these other things happen so that you can start learning on the real side, then once you get serious to just really, really focus, life starts showing you, it'll start showing you on the... Last night I had a dream. I had a short dream, very, very short. And it was about, it was dark, very dark. And I was walking through this big field. And as I looked around me, there was just enough light to see that there were a group of lions walking right next to me, around me. And I saw that they wasn't looking at me. They wasn't really like attacking me, but I was nervous. I was like, wow, do they know that I'm here? And as we walked, I said, before they recognize me, I better ease on away, before I get attacked or whatever. And as I eased on away, and I went on up into, it was like dark. And then I went, the next scene, I was like, one of the lions started following me. I kept going. I said, let me find a place that I can go and get inside and get, be safe. So I went, and the next scene, it was bright, and I was walking down the hallway in this house. So as he was saying, oh, that's me. I came out of the dark, it was light, and I heard someone in the other room vacuuming and cleaning up. It just says, he was saying, taking all that stuff and throwing it in the trash. And I was glad that someone was there, to clean it up. I didn't know who. I'm glad. And so I said, well, I went in the back and I tried to go in the room and close the door to get away from the lion. And I went in the room. It was dark too. I went in the room and I was trying to close the door, but he was so close behind me, the door hit him and he came on in. And I went in the corner and laid down and got quiet. And he came over right to where I was at and laid down right in my lap. He laid down in my lap. And so I said, wow, I'm stuck. I can't get up. I won't be able to move. And then I said, he's going to get hungry. I said, I got to get something for him to eat. And so somehow I was able to get up without waking him up. I got up and he was on top of my lap. I got up and I went looking for food, and the only thing I found was like a little can of some cat food. And I said, okay, I'm going to take this back to him. So on my way back to take him the cat food, I said, this is not going to be enough for him. He doesn't want this. He wants something else, something more than this. And so, and then at that point, I had to use the restroom, and I kind of woke up. And as I was looking back over it, it was just saying to me that the darkness was my ignorance, and the lions was saying to me, hey, be a lion, stand up, stop being in the dark, stop accepting this old stuff, And then when I tried to get away, he was saying, hey, don't forget who you are, And he was following me to remind me. And so when I was trying to hide, he said, don't be scared. And when I went to go get the food, and then when someone was clean, I came out the dark, came into the light, the new you, started getting this new knowledge, applying it. And then I was glad someone was cleaning the house because I'm ready for expansion and growth. And then when I went to go get the food to bring back to him, and I intuitively knew that he really wasn't going to want that. He was going to want something more. That was me saying that, I'm really, really sucking up as much of this new you as I can, the knowledge and how to apply it, and getting bold enough to, just speak about Rebazar, to different people that, wherever I'm at, about the new you. And so that was it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. That's good. I'm not one for having a lot of dreams too, but I just decided to be with this and to carry it through to wherever it goes. So, whether you have the real side experiences or not, or I mean, it'll happen when it happens. It's a long journey, so it doesn't. It's and everything is now anyway. Real side, this side, whatever. But so just the decision to stick with this. It's like a stamina thing, you know. It's like through all the things we have to go through and we have to face. It's an endurance test too. But if Duane's here, maybe if you have any comments on Lawrence's experience there, Duane?
Yeah, hello everybody. Yes, that and Kevin, it's very good, Kevin. Thank you for explaining so much of that. Going over it constantly, it's very good. Yes, one of the things, Lawrence, and yes, you know, in the lower worlds, we're in the darkness here. We have the personal self. And those things that you were considering or thinking while you were in the experiences was your personal self, you see. So only the personal self thinks and considers things. The real you doesn't need to do that, okay? But one of the things you need to understand is your intent. Okay, what is your intent, you know, with your life, and a purpose, real purpose. You know, you have to look at that. It's not just singing the new you, etc., and gaining the knowledge. Many people think this, okay? Those are the first steps that we go through. But that's to lead us. Those are the hints to lead us to the isness. So this is where the new nowness of the new presentation supersedes, excels from everything else. And this is where so many people have come and gone. And if you really look at where these people go after they've come into the new presentation, they go back to all kinds of psychic, funny things, healing, God, religion, etc. They go back to what, you know, they've been shown is keeping them here, because you know what? They don't have the courage, or they don't have the purpose to get through all of this. And this can take you a lifetime. It's not going to be 15 minutes or 20 minutes. You really have to decide, more so than being a doctor, how to get through this, how to get through creation and everything. It's big. It's going to take you the rest of your life, or lifetimes, whatever it takes. And I've decided within myself, it doesn't matter. There's no time factor. And the idea that, oh, gee, I want to be free this lifetime. Well, that's kind of an illusion too. What does that mean? And what is your purpose? So the whole idea is to get people to have a purpose, and then a real purpose. When you want to stand in the real universes, you have to have a real purpose to be in the real universes. You can have a purpose here, you can share things, whatever, but the next step is a real purpose in the real universes, to stand with the all is and figure all that out and learn to perceive, recognize and perceive the isness. So these are steps we go through to decide. But these people that come and go, they just figure that, oh, they can figure it out because they gain the knowledge, and then they take off. They have their attitudes, etc. Well, they didn't see it. And that subconscious stuff, like Kevin went over here, they've still got all that baggage within them that they don't see. So they go to some spiritual path or whatever, which is just another part of the surface world. But yes, the lions were the guides. And your fear there is the personal self. In a way, you're afraid to see this whole idea of this, but that's okay, a step at a time. See, everybody decides. This is where now each person decides their reality. There's no more memberships. There's no more babysitting. This is where, you know, you become, you might say, the real soldier, and you step up and decide, you know, you might say what rank you want to be. Do you want to stay a soldier in the trenches? Do you want to just keep fooling around with that personal self and going through little things and then fixing it and going back and forth? Or do you really want to get through it? You know, it's like a person that wants to be a doctor, but, you know, maybe he goes to medical school one day a month. You know, it's like, are you going to fool around with this? Or are you going to go every day and study and focus and learn to focus? So this is the bigger part. And it's not going to happen until you do it, until you decide. Nobody's going to carry you. Nobody's going to lift you. The thing is that the boys are there. They're always there. They're showing you that they're near. But you're the decider. You got to figure out now how real to you and how real you will get with it. So you're given the hints. But you got to decide to get past everything, your fear and everything else. And yes, they will clean up the house for you once in a while, their personal self. They'll take things away, but at a certain point, they won't. They'll let you have it all because you keep deciding that you want it. So you have to decide to have a purpose and a real purpose. That's very important with your intent. You have to recognize your intent with everything because that's your real awareness. You see? And most of the time your intent has been with your personal self and all the little things it goes through and all the little dramas that you got to deal with. And many times a personal self uses those as excuses. There's no more excuses. You do it or you don't, like the sun shining. But it's going to take you, well, whatever it takes. If it's 100 years or 1,000 years, you have to get yourself ready. Just like a person that's going to become a doctor, 20 years. Going through college, medical school, and everything, probably 20 years. You got to sit down, figure it out, and then do it. Just like me with the writing, etc. You know, I've been with this since 1970, 50 years. I have not stopped, okay? And I feel like I'm just a little kid at it. So there you go. It's a bigger picture. And these people that come and go and think they know something, they don't. They just attended for 2 weeks and then they left and went back to their gods, their choice. This is what you've done many lifetimes. Now you have this chance now. And in the future, there is no guarantee, none, that you'll even remember and do it again, but you've got it right now.
Yeah, I have made up my mind that this was my life for the rest of my life. If nothing else seems to change, I already know and can feel deep down the changes taking place. And I'm, you know, opportunities are coming to me now that I was afraid to accept, like you're saying, and now I'm walking right at those opportunities. And I want to, and I try to, like you say, share what I'm learning with other people when they're ready, or even when they're not. I just share it anyway sometime, and I let them just, you know, decide. But I'm sure that's a part of why, you know, my dreams are coming back. I'm starting to face my fears, you know, and I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful to be here, and I want to get everything. I want to go over it and 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 not get tired of going over it, you know. Thank you so much, Duane. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, everyone. And I've been working a lot singing, so I hadn't been able to make the last few weeks because on the weekends I'm singing. So,
And you talked about sharing. So if you do come on the Skype here, it'd be great if you just share something or bring something to share, whatever it is, any little thing. That's where helps you to wake up. By sharing and taking a risk and doing something, because that's where it's at, where you really become more aware as you do these things.
Well, yeah, like you say, after I share the new you know, with people, like I'd be nervous or whatever, but I share it and I talk about Rebazar and I answer a lot of questions and stuff, and I can feel so much better in the growth, and it just, like you say, it reinforces in me what I'm learning and letting me know that this is, you know, this is really important to me, because we remember what's important, you know, and it's overriding my personal feelings, like he was saying, you know, when I'm thinking or the way I feel or perceptions, just letting everything go and just saying, hey, this is my purpose. This is personal for me now. You know, know you. It's not just something. This is me. And, you know, and I'm starting to grow. That's all. I'm starting to really grow. Yeah.
And when you do meet resistance, which a lot of times you will with sharing this, I mean, that's like an awareness itself. You become more aware of certain attitudes that you have, they have, and it just expands the awareness. And then you see your reaction and how you can decide better or make better decisions and be creative and clever, how you present this. So it's all from taking the risk to share it, you know, to expose this reality through you. Anybody
That's
else?
exactly what's happening.
Yes.
That's exactly I'm getting when I do speak and share it with someone. Then I get to see. I start my awareness kind of expand, and I see more stuff that I didn't see, and then I get more creative of how to present it. You know, in a very practical way. You know, and so I know I'm growing. I'm growing. That's all.
Yeah. If you didn't, then you wouldn't have that awareness. If you didn't take some initiative or action in doing it, so good. You see how stuck people are, and you're moving along. You could say you're moving along in your awareness, but once you share these things, then you can see how people are entrenched in their attitudes, their agreements, their ideas about things, and considerations, and as you expand, you could say your awareness. You could see how they're just stuck. They're not going anywhere. Not that you go anywhere, but they're just like cement, with the agreements that they have made. And this is where life becomes more adventuresome, when you do take the risk to get out of those attachments that you've made and agreements. Then it becomes a real adventure, because you got to face everything, yourself and everything out there.